welcome to my channel, Life with Everyday Haley. If you're new here, welcome. Super glad that you're here to join me tonight. If you're returning, welcome back, friends. Super glad to have you back. So my channel is really Life with me, Haley. Really just talk about everything related to my life, and it's the good or bad or the ugly, all in between. A lot of videos on my channel are related to my fertility journey, what I've been learning, like some of the things I was diagnosed with, and unfortunately the battle I've been on regarding pregnancy loss. But there are big updates in my life, and this video today is about how I chose to navigate announcing my rainbow baby is arriving in 2025. So how I chose to go about announcing my pregnancy after recurrent pregnancy loss, which recurrent pregnancy loss is when a woman has had more than one pregnancy loss back to back, and she may have living children or she may not. I don't, but it doesn't matter. You can have children then go through this, or have no children at all and go through this like me. But it just creates a really unique struggle of an anxiety of pregnancy after loss. Pregnancy after loss is very difficult. And so you have to kind of navigate your pregnancy in a way that you're comfortable with, and everybody's different. So today I'm going to talk with you about what made sense to me, how I am navigating pregnancy after loss, specifically related to sharing the news of your pregnancy. I have another video is going to be posted about how I did share the news of my pregnancy, some more details about that with my family, and then I'll do another video about how we chose to share publicly, like on social media. I'm going to start off by saying it might not sound like a difficult concept or a difficult thing to go through to announce your pregnancy. Some people might say, oh, you're so excited, I bet you can't wait to share the news. Actually, it has not been that way. Sharing the news of your pregnancy after you have had recurrent pregnancy loss is very challenging for various reasons. It's actually very triggering to be pregnant again after loss. Like, there are things I'm still working through every day. And what I mean by that is when you share the news of a pregnancy with the world, or even someone other than a few close people, you're opening up your bubble, your safety bubble, and you're opening up, you're letting people know, oh, she's pregnant, which in turn puts another layer of anxiety on you, because you think, well, what if something goes wrong? I have to tell all these people that I'm not pregnant anymore. It just adds an additional layer. You feel like you lose your privacy. You feel like you lose control in a way. And so my therapist and I, which I've been seeing a therapist who specializes in pregnancy, postpartum, infertility, loss, all things about pregnancy. That is what she does. She has really helped me on my journey of navigating loss and then recovery and healing and then pregnancy again. And it has been a journey, and it hasn't been a quick one, but she's helped me along the way talk through some of these things and realize kind of where my anxiety comes from. And a lot of my anxiety is around announcing my pregnancy. And why is that? Because I think you're so scared that your pregnancy is going to fail. You feel a lot of pressure to share your pregnancy announcement early, because a lot of the world does that. I actually saw one today of someone that cannot be more than 7 weeks pregnant and announced it on social media, and I just about dropped my phone, and I told my husband, I can't believe they're doing that. And he just laughed, because he knows the journey we've been on. He knows what it feels like. And he's like, yeah, that's insane. And I think he's really backed me up and supported me. He has never questioned me on this. We've talked about it, of course, but he's never questioned me on announcing. He has never said, I think we should announce earlier. Nothing, anything like that. He has said, what do you feel comfortable announcing? And we've talked about it together. We kind of talked a plan out. And I also talked a plan out with my therapist. So I'm going to share that with you today, that plan that we developed. But also, I feel like my husband is very respectful of my emotional connection to this journey. So in a lot of ways, he just wants to encourage me with whatever makes me feel calm and comfortable, which I think you have to do for your woman that has dealt with recurrent loss. So everybody in my life has been really supportive, that knows, which is a very small amount of people, with how I'm navigating this journey. And I really respect that they're respecting me to that level, because it's very difficult. Okay, so let's talk through my plan. So again, as a woman that's had loss, I knew I'm not going to announce my pregnancy until I'm through my first trimester. Like, there's just no way. Actually, before I even had my losses, I wouldn't have done that. And now seeing how things can happen and how losses happen, and now being this further along pregnant, I'm just reaffirmed in those beliefs that I truly don't think that you should announce your pregnancy until you are out of your first trimester. Now, that's just my personal opinion, just because of what I've seen, the trauma I've been through, and what I know about pregnancy. But I am very educated in this stuff. And honestly, there's a very, very high chance that you won't struggle with what I went through. Like, a very high chance that you won't. But if for some reason you did, that's what makes it hard of a balance, because if you don't tell anybody you're pregnant, then you go through all of this alone. But if you've already told the world, then you have to backtrack. So there's not really a good balance about it. You just have to figure out what's best for you. And that's all I can say. And honestly, if you do announce it and then something goes wrong, that's okay too. Hopefully people in your life will be there to support you. And it's just a reality of what pregnancy is. Sometimes things go wrong. I think the world could use a lot of education and understanding about it, honestly, because people try to hide it and don't want to share about it. But genuinely, for your own like mental health and like own emotional health, I think it's really okay to wait until you're out of the first trimester. Another thing that I would wait for, obviously, is like, seeing the heartbeat, making sure the baby looks healthy. I've now seen the heartbeat many, many times. I am going out of my first trimester. We did something called NIPT testing at 10 and a half weeks pregnant. We are still waiting for the results of that. It's a little slow, but we're expecting them this week. What that does is that tests for the baby for like several chromosome major issues. It also tells you the baby's gender. So after talking with my doctor about that test and doing that test, I personally would want to wait for those results too. That can give you a lot of information about if your baby's healthy or not. So that's another reason why you may want to wait. And that is offered to you around 10 to 12 weeks of pregnancy. It's just a blood test and it's very non-invasive. And they do recommend it for pregnancies. And I definitely would recommend it to you. So that's another kind of reason why we wanted to wait. All right, so we're praying that those results come back. Because we are about to share the news. So let me share with you guys our like soft launch, like announcement strategy with pregnancy. And I talked this out with my therapist to find out what works best for me, what would keep me the most calm, feeling the most chill and not triggered. Because again, I have dealt with a lot of triggers already. Positive pregnancy test, trigger, all the ultrasounds, triggers. Every week I go in for an ultrasound and I am always so anxious. Going to the OB, I'm so anxious. It's just a side effect of pregnancy after loss. And I'm really trying to kind of rewrite the narrative in my heart and head about ultrasounds. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not there yet. Even after 12 weeks of really healthy ultrasounds and a really healthy baby, I'm still triggered and I'm still scared at every ultrasound appointment. I'm still triggered. Like, I'm not necessarily triggered by pregnancy announcements. but I'm still scared to share my own announcement. Does that make sense? Um, they're not really triggering me anymore, but they just, I don't know, the whole thing just feels uneasy for me. So the first trimester has been really hard. So I've spent the first trimester with my therapist kind of talking through like a game plan. And so we talked about it like a soft launch of announcement. So the first launch was like, I decided when I got pregnant again that I was going to tell my parents, my in-laws, my grandmother, so a small group, just to be able to pray for me. We told them as soon as we got a positive test, I took a digital pregnancy test, it was positive. I sent them a text. I said, I'm very early. I just found out I'm pregnant. Please pray for me. You know, I need you to shower me in prayer. And that was like the best decision I've ever made. Having their support from day one has made such a difference. They have been so supportive of me. They have prayed for me daily. Because I get the weekly ultrasounds, I'm able to send them to my parents and my family. We've been able to watch the baby grow from 4 weeks to 12 weeks. It's been so exciting. And we pray over that baby every single time. We pray for this baby constantly, and I pray constantly every single day to try to get through the first trimester. And so having that soft launch, that just a few small people really made a difference. I definitely would never regret doing that. And that way, if something did go wrong, they would have been there for me. I did have some bumps along the way, some complications. So they were there for me through those complications. But everything has been going really well. And then beyond that, my therapist was like, if you have a few friends that you like really trust, that you just kind of want to talk to, do it. So I did. I have actually a couple coworkers that I'm on meetings with a lot, and I haven't been feeling the best in the first trimester, so I did open up to some very, very close friends at work, and just kind of share the news lightly with them, ask them not to tell anyone. That's another thing I would advise you. I set strict boundaries with the people that I had told in the first place, my family and friends, of please don't tell anyone. I'm not announcing this yet, but I wanted you to know. And my friends have been so kind and helpful, and checking on me, which has been a really, really big support, because you can't just hide it from everyone. I mean, I've been pregnant for 3 months, and like only a handful of people know. That's not easy. That's really not, especially with all the symptoms that you have, and I'm already showing a lot. My belly has gotten bigger. So yeah, and other than that, I am seeing a reproductive immunologist through my journey, who is wonderful, and he sees me every week. He does have a group of women. I have a Facebook group for his patients, and there is a thread for pregnant patients. So there's about 70 pregnant patients on there, and we do talk back and forth. And through that, I have met a couple really close friends that are actually navigating pregnancy with me. So that has been a huge support. They actually are all over the country, so I don't really get to see them in person, which sucks because I would love to spend time with them all the time. I would literally be with them every day. But we talk every day. We uplift each other. We talk about our concerns. We have very similar protocols with our doctor, so it's so fun to have that connection. That has really helped me a lot. And I've made some really, really good friendships, because through this journey, I feel like the people I connect with the best are women that have been where I've been, women that have gone through what I've gone through. If you haven't gone through recurrent pregnancy loss and you're pregnant again, I'm not sure we can really relate to each other right now. And that's okay. That's where I'm at. So that's been helpful. Okay, so that was the first launch. Second launch is actually we are deciding to share with some people that don't know yet, some family, so close family. So next week is Christmas, and I will be coming out of my first trimester. We hope to have our NIPT results. I was hoping to have them before we share this. If those come back and they're not what we wanted, I don't know, we may not share yet. I don't know, we'll have to just pivot. But I have my Mama Claus sweatshirt on. I'm going to wear this, and we are going to announce our pregnancy on Christmas. So go to my channel to watch the video about how we are announcing on Christmas. But that announcement is going to just be a soft announcement to family in a private, intimate Christmas setting. I'll show you what I have done. Everyone has a sonogram photo. I will show you our beautiful baby. This is our beautiful 12-week baby, growing healthy and strong. So each special family member has gotten a photo. I have included a note that just asks them to please keep this private until my husband and I are ready to share on social media. It also shares that the baby's arriving in July, and just thanking them for their prayers on our journey, because our family has really uplifted us and kept us positive and strong. And I know the prayers mean something. There's been a lot of prayers that have gone up for us. So we'll share with family. I'll also share this with you because this is just so cute. The grandparents are receiving a beautiful little ornament. Says promoted to grandparents 2025. Both sets of in-laws are becoming grandparents for the first time, so that's a huge deal for them, and they're very excited. And so I wanted to just do something very special and intimate for our family, give them all something to feel connected to our baby and welcome them, and honor the baby. So that's my way of kind of announcing my pregnancy without just going to Facebook. And also, I really liked the idea of allowing family to know first. Like, out of respect, I wanted to tell my close family members first. There are a few family members that will not be at this event that I would still like to tell that same day on Christmas. So I may just send them a text with the photo and just say, surprise, Merry Christmas, and ask, ask them not to share. So that is our plan for letting family know we're pregnant. I pray to God that they respect our wishes to keep things off social media. I don't think that they will put anything on there. I think they'll be respectful of that. And it won't be that much longer until we are ready to share on social media. So what my plan is in January, I'll be 14 weeks. I have an OB appointment at 14 weeks. And I don't know what it is about 14 weeks, but I'm in my second trimester, and I know there's a lot of anatomy scanning they can do in your ultrasounds around 12 to 14 weeks to really look at the baby. And if all of that comes back positive, I'm going to feel a lot more confident and confident to announce publicly on social media. So that's kind of my plan. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a special family photo shoot with our dog and our sonogram photo, and really just celebrate this pregnancy. By that time, I should be showing a lot because I'm already kind of showing more than you would think I would. I'm hoping that we can just get some sweet pictures. And then I've also crafted like a really special message to share on my social media about my journey, about what God has done, what I have learned, and how we have our rainbow baby. Because I think God has a really special purpose in our journey. Our journey hasn't been like everybody else's journey. And I've just learned a lot. And I've also been able to provide a lot of women with education and support that's needed for navigating recurrent pregnancy loss, but also now pregnancy after loss. So now I can be a voice of what pregnancy is like after loss. So those are our plans. I hope that it all works out. A lot of your journey of navigating pregnancy after loss is simply like creating a timeline. And I've talked to my therapist about this a lot, creating a timeline for what you feel comfortable doing. And like what makes your heart feel calm. So what I've learned along the way is like, yes, my pregnancy may look a little different than a normal person's, but I can still celebrate it in my own way. Yes, I may be scared all the time or anxious all the time, but I can still celebrate the little milestones in my baby's life. Am I able to enjoy pregnancy the way that I would have? The answer is no. And I hate that, because that's going to kind of forever be taken from me. But just because it looks different doesn't mean that it's bad. And I can't tell you the joy and happiness I feel knowing that I have my rainbow baby. And I know that it'll only get better from here. I will say it's just been a really hard first trimester after you've had loss. And I have never gotten out of the first trimester. So it's been rough. But that doesn't mean it can't be beautiful. Just because something is hard doesn't mean it's not beautiful. So come up with a timeline and ways to celebrate that work for you. It may not be the timeline of the world necessarily, but it can be your timeline, and it can be a realistic timeline for women that are pregnant after loss. Because let's normalize that, because those pregnancies are normal too. Everything you go through is normal. This is your reality. And so, for instance, I would like to do a gender reveal party. My husband and I are choosing to know the gender now. We simply just don't want to wait. And we have so many ultrasounds and things that we just didn't feel like it was possible for us to keep that a secret with my weekly ultrasounds. So we just decided to get rid of that anxiety and worry. And we just decided to go ahead and find out. So we're going to find out with our NIPT results, hopefully this week. And then we're going to do a gender reveal party in February. I know most people do a gender reveal party earlier because you know your gender is pretty early these days. But I wasn't ready to commit to something like that. So at the end of February, I will be hopefully around 21 weeks pregnant. And at that point, we should feel like the baby's growing, the baby's healthy, the baby's good. And we're going to do a gender reveal party. And I have a really special event planned to have my family come. It's going to be intimate, just family, and do some fun games, and then learn the gender of our baby and celebrate the baby and have some fun. So that's something I've always wanted to do. Might be a little bit later than I thought, maybe, but that's okay. And again, February will be here before you know it. My family's dying to know the gender, but they're just going to have to wait. And I'm going to try really hard to keep it a secret. That's going to be the hardest part. If I accidentally say it, I'll just pretend like I was joking or something. But my husband and I are like, do not say it. Don't tell anyone. So anyways, it's just kind of fun. And there's just ways to celebrate, even though your journey's different. And then honestly, the only other real thing is a baby shower. And I've just talked with my mom and family, like my mom that knows, and just said, you know, I would just like to kind of push it off as far as I can, just for my heart and my anxiety. And I know you don't want to push it off too far because you don't want to like miss your own baby shower. But, you know, I just want to make sure that everything is good before we, you know, move on to that. But I think everything's going well. And I really think I'm really working on praying about not being as anxious. I definitely feel like my anxiety was sky high between like week 4 and week 8. I was so scared, especially like those critical weeks. And then as I've gotten further along, I've kind of learned to breathe and everything's looking good and just kind of trust my body, which is what I'm trying to do. So again, just finding ways to navigate your pregnancy in the ways that you feel comfortable after loss. And another thing my therapist and I are working through, which we really need to meet about this, is when people ask you questions about your pregnancy or your rainbow baby or your losses, what are you comfortable sharing? Because people can easily trigger you. People can easily not realize the things that they say are hurtful. I would just kind of prefer that no one asks me anything about, well, what did you do differently this time? Or I would prefer that no one really asks me anything about what happened in your last pregnancies. Hopefully nobody would, but you just kind of never know. And I do have this platform for a reason, because I want women to know what I've been through, and hopefully it can help them. But really, this platform is for that person. It's really not for, like, I hate to say this, I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's not really for like nosy family members or friends that just want to know. This platform is for women that are struggling with what I've been through and how to navigate it. Those are the people that I care about sharing my message with. I do want to educate people about what I've been through, what I've learned, and what led me to having success, but in the right way. So we're going to work through, like, what questions are you comfortable answering? How would you answer that question if you get a weird question? Or if someone says something that upsets you, how are you going to, move through that? Or if someone says something that triggers you, how are you going to move through that? Yeah, because when you do open up that can of worms of announcement, unfortunately, that does come with it. People just don't really know what to say, as we've learned that through loss. They don't know how to help you in your grief sometimes, and sometimes, unfortunately, they just say the wrong thing, whether they mean good things or not. But just preparing your heart and your mind and your body and your soul to receive positivity and give out and give back positivity. But at the end of the day, the best thing is I know what's worked for me. I know that I have a fabulous doctor who cares about me. I know that my protocol is what my body needed. I know exactly why I'm on my entire pregnancy protocol. And I know exactly what caused, my last losses, the factors involved, and how this pregnancy's been different. And if people really want to know that from an educational learning perspective, I'm happy to share that. But in the right way. Like, not everybody needs to know, nor are they going to understand what I'm trying to say, because it's very complicated to understand recurrent pregnancy loss and all of the testing that I've had done for months and months and months. And it's things that people have never even heard of. So, anyways, I'm going to do another video about my reproductive immunology journey, what was found, what was treated, my protocol in pregnancy and stuff like that. I just haven't been able to film it yet because I've been in my first trimester and I've been really sick. But I'm starting to come out of that and feel a little bit more like myself. So hopefully I'll be bringing you some more videos. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video today on my channel, Life with Everyday Haley, about navigating announcing your pregnancy after loss. So if you've had pregnancy loss and you're going to announce it, all of the different factors and feelings involved in that, it's actually a really big deal, and it's a big milestone in your pregnancy, and you really have to think about it with care and compassion about yourself and what you feel comfortable with. So good luck to you guys in announcing. I hope something I've shared with you resonates with you. Again, go watch that video about how I'm sharing with my family, and then I'll have another video about when we share publicly. Hopefully I can share some pictures with you and how that went, and like maybe share with you the reaction I got on social media, maybe some of the weird comments I got or nice comments I got. I can't wait to share just like the reaction with you, because you just never know what's going to happen. So that is to come, along with some more videos about navigating pregnancy and baby items, because I'm starting to start on my nursery and all that fun stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun on my channel over the next few months, and I'm happy that you're along for the ride with me. Thanks so much for watching, and hope y'all have a blessed day.